My name is Theodore Canby. I have farmed 40 acres south of Millhaven for 23 years. I mention this because I want you to understand the kind of man I am. I am a man who is comfortable with silence, with the particular rhythms of seasons, and not notably given to expressing things aloud that I have not already expressed in some form through action. I want to tell you about the summer of 1891 and a woman named Della Marsh. Della came to Millhaven in April of that year. She was a widow from Laramie. Her husband had farmed cattle before a fever took him in the winter of 1889. She has a sister in Millhaven, Ida Crowe, who is married to the smithy on Bridgewater Road. She came to help Ida through a difficult confinement, and she stayed on because the work suited her, and the country suited her, and she was, I think, not ready to go back. I first saw her at Bridgewater Church, which I attend on Sundays. She was sitting with Ida's family. She had dark hair and a plain gray dress, and the manner of a woman who is paying attention to the sermon and not to who is looking at her. I will not recount every detail of that spring and summer. It is not necessary. What I will say is that I found reasons, over several months, to be in the vicinity of the Crowe smithy, and to speak with Della when the occasion was natural, at the church social in May, at the Millhaven Founders' Day in June, at a fencing work day at the Hollis farm in July, at which she had come to help with the food. I am not good at this. I want to be clear about that. I am not a man who is easy in conversation when the conversation has the weight of something unstated in it. But she made it easier. She was direct. She asked questions and she answered questions plainly, and she did not require me to be something other than what I was. In August, I drove the long way past the Crowe smithy most Wednesdays, which was unnecessary. I am aware that this was transparent. Della did not comment on it. In September, I brought a quarter of a deer to Ida's kitchen because there was more than I needed, and the Crowe household could use it. This was true. It was also a reason to be in the kitchen when Della was there. She made coffee. We sat at Ida's kitchen table for 40 minutes and talked about the fencing project and the state of the pasture grass in the south fields and whether the winter would come early, which it did. When I left, she walked me to the gate. She said, "I hope the fence holds up." I said, "I believe it will." This was in September. In October, I rode to the Crowe smithy on a Tuesday evening with no particular reason that I had prepared. Ida let me in. Della was in the sitting room with mending work. I said, "I wanted to ask you something." She put the mending down and looked at me. I said that I had noticed her since April, and that I had thought about it considerably, and that if she was interested in being courted, I would like very much to do that properly. I said it like that because I did not have a better way. She looked at me for a moment. She said, "I thought that was what the Wednesday drives were about." I said, "Yes." She said, "I had been wondering when you would say it." I said, "I am not quick about things," she said. "I have noticed," she said. "Yes, we were married in March. It was a plain ceremony at Bridgewater Church with the Crowe family and my neighbor Harlan Pruitt as witness, and the Reverend Mr. Oates, who has known me for 20 years and who said at the dinner afterward that he had never before seen me speak at such length about something personal, and that he was glad I had finally found occasion to. I am a man who is comfortable with silence. What I found over that summer and autumn was a woman with whom silence was also comfortable, and who did not require me to be more than what I was, and who waited, with what I understand now was considerable patience, for me to find the words. The fence held up as I had said it would.